In class, we were using colanders to try and get our dog to understand that odor is amazing. If you don't have a colander at home that you can just use whatever kind of container you have. Like a bowl, I'm using a kind of an old Tupperware. All you're going to do is put your tin inside the bowl, and then when your dog comes, you can continually feed in the bowl. Nosework is one of the few sports where your dog is really the key. So you have to help them be more independent. This is also how nosework can be really enriching and helpful for building confidence. So I'm going to show you how I would do this with Merlin. You'll see a lot that I'm going to be moving around a lot, and that is to once again try and get him to continually stay at the bowl. If your dog is leaving the bowl a lot to maybe come and find you, make it a little bit easier. Don't go away so far. Initially, you might not be able to go anywhere at all. You might have to stay right there and feed food immediately. Keep your rate of reinforcement, or how often you feed treats, pretty high at the beginning stages. Remember, we're going for dog finds odor is amazing. Okay, Merlin. Yes, good. So you can see that all I'm doing is I am just feeding food one right after the other. Now, he's not really having to do anything here. He knows that he's supposed to keep his nose on the tin because he has several years of nosework experience. But all is going to be fine. Okay, good boy. Yes. Good. When you first start, you might have to be right here and just continually feeding in order to make it so that their nose doesn't come up off of the tin. We want it to stay down there because that is going to be what we build on for an indication later on. We want our dog to keep their nose on the source so we know that that's where it is. Okay. Good boy. As your dog gets better at this, you can start to feed a little bit less frequently. Now, I wouldn't suspect that you would be able to do this level yet. Merlin's been doing nosework since he was a puppy. Okay. Good boy. But that's what you're working towards. You want a dog who will always keep their nose in the bowl. The next step in nosework that we were going to get into in this week, but sadly, heat made it impossible, is that we are going to start moving the bowl around. We would have used the colander in class, but for at home, you can simply just use whatever you've got. I'm going to use this Tupperware. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Merlin in a sit over here. If your dog doesn't have a good stay, that's okay. You can just restrain them however is appropriate, maybe behind a door or in a crate. And you're going to start putting the bowl, oops, let me get that in camera here. Put the bowl in different places. Okay, yes. And once again, you are going to feed so that the dog's head does not come out of the bowl. Okay. So we're going to do that again, but just in a different location. That's still in camera, all right. Good boy. I'm feeding him for waiting. Okay. Good, yes. Now, when you first get started, you're going to want to make sure that you can reward immediately as soon as your dog gets to that location. Okay, good boy. I really like having that release word so that they know that they can leave the bowl. Good boy.